Is outside London Stadium, West Ham Fan TV. What a win! What a performance!
Much better, pleasurable that one, wasn't it? Like I say, another game we watched together. We'll tick that one off, and I say to you, start to finish, that was that's just what the doctor ordered, I think, weren't it? Like you say, we've got 3 wins in a row now. That builds a lot of momentum going into Saturday's game, which is another tough one. Every game's a tough one in this league, and we had to come here and, do you know what? Fair play to fucking everybody. Nuno deserves credit. All them players deserve credit. We've come off the bat, like you say, the start of the season is very difficult. We're no strangers to that, like we've said before. We've mentioned that a million times, but no, we deserve that today.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 new boys up front, I know they got a little bit of criticism over the last couple of weeks. Can't see why, because they worked their socks off today, and there was a bit of quality in the side.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that Pablo I thought was even better than Castellanos. If you're muscling in, but they were both brilliant. They bring another dimension to another dynamic, like I said to you during the game. We look like a totally different team when we play football like that. First half last week we were brilliant. Second half, a bit more slack. Yes, we dived off a little bit when Sunderland got a goal today. But again, everyone to a man, working together, working as a unit.
But that's what we need. I mean, what we've seen recently is we go 1-0 up, then we sit back. What we needed to do today is go for the throat, and we did do that.
Go for the jugular, yeah. The amount of times that we said that as well, and that's what was more refreshing to see from everybody. Everyone went forward together as a unit. We then held back as a unit, and as I said, we named 3 or 4 players, didn't we, at half time that we thought were fucking superb. Fernandez is something different.
He gets better every week.
To say that he's coming out of his shell, if that goal had gone in at the end there, that fucking smacked the bar, then I think the roof comes off. The first goal was good enough. Even without the goal he scored, Nick, do you know what I mean? I thought he was the best player on the pitch. I said that to you, obviously, when we started out. Juve coming back was a big thing. Obviously, we've got a champion within the team now with, so much to say that. Every man for himself were brilliant. I think tactically Nuno got the right changes. I think he made the right changes. A bit disappointed to see Pablo go off, because as I say, I believe his work rate, I think, was second to none today, and that's what I think the manager would have instilled in him leading up to this one, especially after such a good result on Saturday last week. We've had
that's what we've needed. We needed some work rate. We needed some effort out there, and it can't come as no. It's no coincidence that Paquetá goes out the team, and then all of a sudden we're starting to play a bit.
But then what does that show you? I've been listening to you obviously during the week in your podcast and stuff, and say if you don't fancy it, and as soon as there's a bad egg in the crowd, bad egg in the team, around the changing room. I mean, apparently he hasn't. I spoke to Bill Gardner before the game. He said that he knows somebody that suggests that Paquetá has not spoken to anyone within the training regime for nearly 2 months. And if that's the case, and you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
You stick the shirt on your back and you give it everything. Those players today gave the lot. They left it all out there. And that's all that we want as a football team. That's, you give us something to shout about. And listen to that support at the end there, just before the whistle blew. We can create a bit of atmosphere, and once we get a little bit too shout about, you give us something to shout about. You give us an idea to do what we need to do. We'll support you regardless, but in situations like that, everyone stood up and done their job.
Nuno took some credit today.
100%, and I hope he does as well. Like I say, when we tune into Match of the Day tonight, they'll be gutted because we won another game. Who they're going to give a grilling to this time? And the biggest thing as well is, I've been starting the weekend off as we have, as the early game, and we've set a precedent out to teams around us. We've got another 3 points. We've now got to look at the fact that there's no disrespect. We're looking over our shoulders already. I know Forest play tomorrow, I think Brentford, Burnley at Tottenham. So there are games, City with Wolves as well. Not to cancel them out completely still, because we don't know what the ride will be in the Premier League, and all we can do is concentrate on ourselves.
You go on confidence, and that's where we're going.
I think heading into Chelsea Saturday as well, that's the biggest thing. To win the 3 games, all competitions. Like we said, to concede the goal was a bit of a nightmare, but we generally do concede goals, so maybe not a big shock. But the way that we were going, we just looked like a revitalised team. We looked refreshed.
Yeah.
We looked ready to go. Everyone obviously was clearly given a job.
Adama's coming in as well.
Adama coming in, that'll give us another, obviously, bit of pace injection as well. Probably don't play to the, doesn't play to the extent that he would like. When you're a footballer, you want to play as many minutes as you can, and if you're drained out like he clearly is, then, come along and give us an helping hand. And I don't think anyone will be against that. It's another body in the team. It's another body in the squad.
Well, we've put an horse in the race now, so we're all right.
Exactly, yeah. But whoever's got the job to oil him down and whatever and get him to slide off of him, he's got the pace ready to go. And that's another thing today. Every time we went forward, we looked like we're going to score.
Yeah.
And that's the West Ham of old, obviously, prior to this season. So I said before, didn't I, that we know that we've got it within the team. These are not shit players. We're at the top level for a reason, and if we can work around the mould of Fernandes now, I think he's going to be pivotal to what we're going to achieve going forward between now and the end. And he was outstanding.
Yeah.
Amongst others, like we said, and Tadebo's come on leaps and bounds every game as well. Refreshing to see the fact that our wingers had fullbacks in their pockets. When was the last time that we're able to come out of a game and say that? So, listen, everyone that's going to come on here and mostly say positives, everyone deserves that. The team deserve that.
Yeah.
They've been shocking in situations, obviously, that have left us fighting and where we are, and we're no strangers to do that. So we've still got to pull our socks up. We're going to Chelsea now on Saturday night in the best vein of form, the best way that we can. And the only way that you can build that confidence and momentum is to win games. And coming out of another game now and doing that, let's carry it on.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.